The date is the 6th of February, yes, and today SI released their match engine update. It's major, it's quite big. There are lots of changes in the match engine. On today's show, I'm going to look at the implications of the changes they've made to the match engine. Plus, on top of that, I'm going to talk about how some of the formations are going to play out in Football Manager. My name is Daljit. Welcome to Bustthenet. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to stay in touch for more videos like this. When you log into the game after it's been updated, you should be able to see Match Engine 2039 when you check about Football Manager. What are some of the changes that have been made? Well, frankly speaking, there have been a lot of changes. The information that as I have put out is basically a summary of the number of changes that they've made. Trust me, there's a lot more than what's listed on that sheet. We've got changes to one-on-one finishing. There were plenty of complaints from people that there were way too many one-on-ones that their players were not able to convert, and this has been improved. More notably, and something that I was really after, was the recalculations to clear-cut chances. Frankly speaking, it was off. Right, so we had a lot of chances that were credited as clear-cut chances when in reality they were not. So that has been a major change. There's also been a change to the conversion rates of some of the penalty kicks. So you can check out the rest of the changes, right? Some of the changes to the match engine. And these have had some interesting side effects. For one thing, I do believe that the game is now a lot easier. You can, with a really good squad, holiday mode without having to play. You could easily win the title. If you were a club like Liverpool, you can holiday mode. You don't even have to show up for a game. You probably win the title. I've run like 40 simulations so far, and running on 5 computers, using various kinds of teams in various leagues to find out what's working and what's not working. Do we have improvements in central play? Certainly. I've seen some goals that are really nice, and they show a lot of good movement on and off the ball. Some very nice goals. What are some of the best formations at the moment? There are going to be some formations, and I'll get to that very soon. But first up, let's talk about some of the small changes that you may not have noticed. One of the changes which appeared really early in FM20 was role and duty changes. These continue on from FM19, but in FM20 you'll notice that an inside forward and an inverted winger who are on the same team mentality, they won't have the same individual mentality. The inside forward is going to be slightly higher in terms of mentality. This affects risk in the game and how the roles are going to be playing. The inside forward will definitely be a bit more aggressive in the final third as compared to the inverted winger, and to get that kind of distinction going, SI had to change the mentality of the role itself. So expect to see some of these roles now play slightly differently. There's a complete list of changes right on the forums, and there's going to be plenty of discussion. So I'm not going to go through all the changes that have been made, because it's going to be a very long video if I do that. What I really want to do on today's show is deal with the implications of some of these changes. For example, they had to improve the way defenders strike the long ball. This has allowed us now to play with return to high lines of engagement, and gegenpressing is going to be making a comeback again. I mean, early on in the beta, gegenpressing was being punished. Now I would say that gegenpressing is definitely viable again, because defenders can track the long ball more effectively right now. One of the go-to instructions for FM20 is actually going to be higher tempo. Why? Because you want to hit these teams before they settle into a stacked defense. This means that you're going to be trying to break them down as quickly as you can. I've already done a video on hitting early crosses. It'll come in handy, more handy than actually working the ball into the box, because when you're working the ball into the box, you're working against a team that's already got most of its players back. This means that if your team isn't very good at keeping the ball, you could leave yourselves open to the counter. So for most teams, especially if they are underdogs, higher tempo settings could be the way to go. Do I need to go out there and change all my tactics now that there's a new patch out? Actually, no, you don't really need to do that. I've run 40 simulations so far using different kinds of tactics, and I found that most of my tactics that I've created, they still run the same. Some of them are performing even better. There are some tactics that are not performing as well as the others because they did, after all, take advantage of the long ball. So I run two kinds of simulation. One is a holiday mode test with different kinds of teams in different leagues, and I also run a test where I manage the team for an entire season using one tactic in home matches and one tactic in away matches. Here the goal is really simple. I try to simulate how a normal person will play the game without making too many tweaks. The only tweaks I'm allowed to do are substitution and maybe one team instruction change. So I'm not going to go through the spreadsheet because it's pretty detailed. What I plan to do is to summarize what I found out. Essentially, what are going to be some of the more interesting formations for FM20. I'm proud to say that most of these tactics were not created by me, but by all of you when you join me on Twitch and we brainstorm the creation of more and more tactics. Systems like the 3-5-2, the 5-2-1-2, and the 4-1-4-1, they're going to be defensively quite resilient. Most of the formations that I created resulted in very few clear-cut chances for the opposition, averaging one clear-cut chance for every 2 games. As far as your top goal scorer was concerned, well, the 4-on-4 isn't going to produce a 60-goal striker. At best, it's going to create a 30-goal striker. And chances are, goals are going to be spread across your team. If you set it up correctly with the right roles and duties, you should be able to see everyone turn into a goal scorer apart from the goalkeeper. The 4-1-4-1, the 5-2-1-2, the 4-3-1-2 are all going to be capable of creating something like 2.5 goals per game. So you shouldn't have an issue scoring goals with these tactics if you set them up correctly. The 4-3-1-2 will also be an interesting tactic to use this season. It has the potential of creating some high scoring matches. It produces something like 2 clear-cut chances a game and scores something like 2.5 goals per game. So all you need to do is to make sure that you've chosen the right roles and duties for the 4-3-1-2. If you're thinking of making tactics that produce 50-goal strikers, then you're moving into the more exotic systems like the 2-3-5 that I made last year, Galileo. The 3-4-3 is also very strong. Even the 4-2-3-1 has the potential to create a 50-goal striker. However, it will also be the system's weakness because chances are the lone forward is the one that's going to be scoring all the goals, leaving you in a pinch if he ever gets injured. So what are my recommendations for FM20? If you have a good team, I suggest going to a 4-2-3-1, a 3-4-3, the 3-4-3 diamond. Right? These are going to be interesting systems because you're going to be scoring bucket loads of goals and you're going to be having a lot of fun at the same time. The only drawback with any of these attacking systems is that you got to be very careful about how you set your defensive lineup and who you have in defense. So chances are you're going to be using a relatively fast defense with acceleration of somewhere between 14 to 15 for your entire back line. Personally speaking, I'm going to be banking on the 2-3-5, the 3-4-3 diamond, and the 3-4-3 moving forward. There are, of course, other systems as well, like the 4-4-2, the 4-4-2 DM, the 4-3-3 DM. These are all solid systems. So far, my preliminary tests, and I haven't completed enough of them yet, but they all indicate that these systems are defensively very resilient. You probably will have to play them on a slightly structured style, meaning that you need to have at least 2 or 3 players in the final third on an attack duty to penetrate the space that's left behind when you employ bottom heavy systems. For underdog sides, I strongly recommend using higher tempo and hit early crosses. The reason is very simple. You want to move the ball quickly up the pitch to take advantage of the few attacking duties you have, attacking the space vacated by other systems that are attacking you. If you're a newly promoted side, what kind of a system should you be using? I would strongly recommend using any kind of system that offers you a chance to attack with 2 players. This can be a 4-4-2 DM, or it can also be a 4-1-4-1 where you use 2 of the roles in the final third on an attacking duty. FM20 does not see the death of central attacking play. The fact is, defending has become better. Finding space in the final third is not so easy. The match engine does favor space, so it's going to look for space wherever it's available. If it happens to be on the flanks, that's where the ball is going to end up. Therefore, FM20 seems to favor wing-based play quite a lot. Certain formations are going to produce some exquisite through balls through the middle. That I have no doubt of, because I've already seen it with the 4-3-1-2, the 4-2-3-1, and even the 3-4-3 diamond. But honestly, if I were you, I'd just go out there and have fun. Is this game perfect? Of course it's not. No game has ever been perfect. And are you gonna have fun? Probably, because they made tactics kind of easy. Will he be able to produce a 50-goal striker, 60-goal striker? Of course you can. Cinderella stories, are they still possible? Definitely. So what's holding you back? I don't know. I'm just gonna be around if you have any questions. You know, if you have challenges with the game and you don't understand something, I'll do my best to help you out. So look me up on Twitter at Bustthenet or addicted2fm.com, my website. I'm also on Twitch, so don't forget, you can always jump in on the conversation. If you have your tactic, we might even give that a whirl on the chat, on the show. So you guys take care, have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.